The city of Carthal was burning. Flames licked across crystalline spires as the Dominion warhulks descended. The skies were black with smoke, filled with the roar of engines and the shriek of falling debris. For weeks, the Aurelians, proud avian people of the Eastern Spiral, had resisted. But resistance had broken. Now their defense grid lay shattered. Their fleets burned in orbit. Their people huddled in underground sanctuaries, waiting for the inevitable slaughter. Commander Rail, feathers singed and eyes bloodshot, stood on the shattered balcony of the Aurelian command dome. His forces were gone. Less than 200 soldiers, all exhausted, wounded, or out of ammunition. Below, Dominion troops swarmed through the streets. They were towering reptilian beasts, armored in biosteel, their claws dripping with blood. They advanced with methodical cruelty, exterminating every pocket of resistance. Rail whispered, broken, "It is over." He thought of his hatchlings already dead in the bombardment, of his people betrayed by allies who had fled when the Dominion came. The Aurelians were alone, and alone they would perish. Hours dragged into eternity. The survivors packed into the ruins of the command dome. The air was heavy with smoke and despair. No one spoke. The only sound was the distant thud of Dominion siege guns pounding the last defenses. An officer slumped beside Rail, clutching a broken plasma rifle. "Commander, do we fight or do we wait?" Rail had no answer. Even surrender was impossible. The Dominion did not take slaves from those who resisted, they only erased them. The dome shook violently as another bombardment landed. Dust fell from the cracked ceiling. Somewhere outside, a child screamed. Rail closed his eyes. "It ends here." And then silence. The bombardment ceased. The rumble of Dominion war machines faded. The Aurelians glanced at each other in confusion. What was happening? Then came the sound. A low, thunderous roar from the skies above. Not Dominion. Something else. The clouds split open. From the heavens, fire streaked downward, dozens of drop pods, tearing through the smoke. They slammed into the city with earth-shattering force, scattering Dominion lines in shock. The reptilian soldiers shrieked in confusion as pod doors blew open, belching steam. And then, they came. Humans. Clad in matte black powered armor, visors glowing, they surged out of the pods like an iron storm. Weapons roared, ballistic rifles spitting fire, shotguns booming, flamethrowers hissing. Dominion beasts, who had crushed fleets and burned cities, fell like wheat before a scythe. Commander Rail's soldiers stared in disbelief as the humans advanced. They were smaller than the Dominion, frilier in appearance, but they moved with terrifying purpose. Their formations were tight, their tactics brutal. They didn't fight like soldiers defending territory. They fought like predators reclaiming prey. Over comms, a voice echoed sharp, cold, commanding. "This is Major Darius Cole, United Terran Marines. Aurelian survivors, hold your positions. We'll clear the city." Rail trembled. The stories were true. The humans had come. The battle transformed instantly. Dominion soldiers, once unstoppable, faltered under the human onslaught. The Terran Marines moved street by street, building by building, carving a path through overwhelming numbers. Grenades detonated. Railguns tore through bio-armor. Flamethrowers reduced monstrous beasts to ash. Rail and his remaining troops, inspired, joined the humans in counterattacks. Side by side, Aurelian wings and human steel struck back. What stunned Rail most was not the humans' weapons, but their fury. They fought wounded, bleeding, even burning, but never stopped. Where Aurelians would retreat, humans advanced. Where Dominion soldiers hesitated, humans charged. At one point, Rail saw a human soldier, his arm torn open, continue to fight by strapping a grenade launcher to the stump and firing until he collapsed. Another used his body to shield Aurelian civilians from shrapnel. To the Dominion, this was madness. To the Aurelians, it was salvation. By nightfall, the once doomed city was littered with Dominion corpses. The humans had turned the tide, but the battle was not yet over. The Dominion flagship loomed above, preparing a final strike to erase the city completely. Major Cole gathered his Marines. His voice was calm, cold, merciless. "They think this ends here. They're wrong. We take the fight to them. The final assault was chaos. Human dropships, patched with Aurelian guidance, launched directly into the Dominion flagship's hangar. What followed was slaughter. Humans fought like demons in the belly of the beast. Close-quarters combat erupted in steel corridors, bayonets clashing with claws, rifles cracking, blades flashing. The Dominion roared in rage, but for every human that fell, 3 more of them died. And then Major Cole planted a warhead in the flagship's reactor. The Aurelians watched from the ruined streets below as the Dominion flagship erupted in a blinding explosion, tearing across the sky like a newborn sun. The impossible had happened. The Dominion had been defeated, not by fleets, not by empires, but by human soldiers. When Rail stood before Major Cole the next morning, feathers singed and voice broken, he whispered, "You saved us. You saved a people the galaxy had already abandoned." Cole's visor retracted, revealing human eyes, hard, tired, but alive. "No," he said, "you'll save yourselves. We just reminded you how to fight." Word of Carthal spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Civilizations whispered of the day humanity arrived, of the soldiers who descended from fire and turned despair into victory. The Dominion, once unchallenged, had been shaken, because now the galaxy knew a terrifying truth. When the end comes, when all hope is gone, the humans will land, and everything will change.